Hello, welcome to the After Dark podcast. I am Jordan, and today I am joined by Neil
Hello.
and a special guest, Laura McKay.
Hi.
And this is Laura. She goes to AUB with us, or did go to AUB with us. And today's a bit different. This podcast is more of a discussion. We said in a couple of times we're going to bring it up and we're going to do a video about it eventually. So today we thought would be a good day, especially considering lockdown is here, especially lockdown in winter. So today we're just going to talk about mental health and possibly some of our own experiences, not to go into big detail with it, and ways that we've been coping through lockdown. Talk about it. Maybe that can help a few people out, and just talk about our experiences. But first, Laura, do you want to just give a bit about yourself?
Who are you? What are
yeah.
you doing here?
Who am I? Why am I here with you guys? So I went to uni with Jordan and Neil. We are all, well, Neil, you're still going. Jordan and I have supposedly graduated despite the COVID pandemic. Results pending on that one. But yeah, I studied acting as well, and I am now working as a singing teacher, and I am training to be a personal trainer. So that's my little summary at the moment. Nothing much exciting is going on in my life, to be honest. It's just lockdown after lockdown.
You are one of the few people who I know who's like making the most of lockdown though, because
Oh really?
you're like fitness nut.
I am a bit of a fitness freak. Yeah, I did just go for a 2-hour walk.
You're crazy. That sounds like death to me. The only time I walk for 2 hours is when I'm drunk and lost.
Yeah, it did remind me of times like that, but
You've started your like workout, like home workout scheme on Instagram,
yes.
which is cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I've just started doing that recently, really. I think people don't necessarily respond straight away if I kind of ask, and I'll be like, look, would you like me to do a live workout for you guys for free? Like, it's something to keep you busy during lockdown. People don't necessarily respond and be like, yes, please. Yeah. But once I've done it, I see it's had lots of views and people comment like they've enjoyed it. And so I'm just trying to keep that going, really, and offer just things for people to do while they're bored at home. And exercise is such a good one to do. I mean, if I can be bothered, there's some mornings when I'm like, oh no, do I have to do this? But no, it's good fun, and I always feel good afterwards. I think that's the thing with exercise.
Yeah,
Really.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
Though I haven't seen you guys there.
I mean,
Oh, that's because I don't exercise.
Neil doesn't
Yeah.
exercise, and to be fair, I've got a good routine going that I'm just sticking
Jordan
to.
doesn't have an excuse. Jordan said he'd be there and he wasn't there. So I'm putting that out there right now for everybody.
You did body weight exercise, and I was like, oh, that'd be really beneficial for me. But then I was like,
Yeah.
I've got my weights, and I was like, I'm just gonna carry on with my routine. But I probably will come to the. I'll come to the dumbbell workout. But
Yeah,
then-
that's tomorrow at 9 a.m. You got to get up.
Oh no, actually, I won't be there for that.
Really.
Jordan, I can wake you up at 9.
9 a.m. is when I get up and eat. I don't work
Get
out
up and
until
work
about
out instead.
midday.
Well, push yourself. Get up. Start early. You'll feel good for it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but like touching on that is a big thing. Like, obviously, me and Laura have spoken about it a couple of times, and we used to go to the gym together. But my mental health is so much better when I'm keeping active with working out and keeping my body physically fit, which is a good thing, I think, for everyone if they want to.
Yeah.
It gives you a bit of
Yeah.
adjustment, and it helps. It does help with the mental side of things and the physical side of things.
Yeah, and it can be hard. Like, there's days when I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. Like, today I was sat on the sofa pretty much all day, and I was like, I should really go for a walk. And you just have to push yourself to do it, and you do generally feel better afterwards. You know, there's very few times when I've like done a workout and I'm like, that was not worth it. Like, I feel worse. That just doesn't tend to happen. But and it's okay to take rest days too, obviously. Like, today was technically my rest day, but yeah, it is a good one for your mental health for sure.
Oh yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that's more. Sorry, go on, Neil.
No, I was just gonna say I think it's a really positive thing that Laura does, where she like will explain that it's okay to take a day off. And
Yeah.
that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
occasionally you need it, and that's cool.
I think Yeah, I think there's a lot of, I mean, one of the things I found, especially on social media, there's a lot of mixed messages and a lot of false information. And some people are saying, oh, you should be training like 5, 6, 7 times a week, like every day. Like, that's not realistic. Like, we have jobs, we have uni. Like, I certainly, when I was in uni, I trained like once a week, if that. And you have to be fair with yourself and not put that pressure on yourself, otherwise it's not going to help.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, allow time to rest. If your body's aching, you're meant to do a workout, and you are exhausted, don't do that workout. You don't need to. You just got to listen to yourself and your mind and your body. But obviously, you've also got to know when you're just being lazy.
Yeah. So like, yeah. How long is too long for resting? Because I've been resting for like
A few years.
4 years.
He came to the gym with me a few times, just when
That's
we moved
good.
back, and then he stopped.
And then my schedule got a little bit crazy with uni, but we went like every day on and off for a few weeks, like
Yeah, and that's fine.
every day on and off.
On and off. But one of the like major things that people forget about as well is walking. Walking is
Yeah.
so beneficial for you. Like, you don't have to go to the gym in order to be like physically fit. If you do a 15-minute like brisk walk every day of the year, like, you're going to be very physically fit. And people underestimate the power just walking has on your mind. Like, I felt super drained. I was completely unproductive. And I went for my 2-hour walk. I've come back. I'm doing this. I got a hairbrush stuck in my hair.
That was. I
not so
really
great.
gutted that we hadn't started recording at that point, because
I'll just send you the video.
this call started with Laura just a hairbrush
I
sticking up
had
the side
like
of her head.
hair up here. It was not.
It was very
not
attractive.
pretty. But now I feel like I've got revising to do. I've got an exam tomorrow, and so I feel in a much better mindset to do that than before my walk, which is my main point here.
Yeah,
It definitely helps.
and yeah, 100%. And this isn't a fitness podcast or a fitness discussion, but more and more people are saying have been taking as much advantage as they can to get out during lockdown. It's a time when we all kind of appreciate being outside and taking in our surroundings, and I think for everyone it is a beneficial thing to do, especially just to get out of your house for even 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's massively a beneficial thing to do, because especially as we go into winter, it's a hard time for mental health.
Yeah.
And living alone. If you live alone, it's really difficult. I know for a fact that I lived alone multiple occasions, and it's not a nice experience for anyone, let alone in the winter. It's a horrible thing to do. And I don't know about you guys, but like more and more, especially first lockdown, this lockdown, I have been more in touch with my family than I ever have been, and also more in touch with just people around me. And obviously we all have different schedules, we all have different things to do. Some people don't always have the time to reply, some people don't feel like they want to reply, because unfortunately mental health does happen, and then people just kind of want to zone out. But I always find my biggest thing to help me is just chatting to people. It distracts me, it keeps me away from overthinking and then a lot of things building on top of me.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, for a lot of people, lockdown has been the time when you can reach out to people that you might not have otherwise been able to reach out to before, because you've got all this spare time. But equally, on the flip side, you shouldn't feel any pressure that you need to be proactive with this lockdown, and that you have to fill your time with finding new skills and learning a new language and like getting in contact with everybody that you've lost contact with. You just need to do what's right for you, and whether that is living happily alone in your own little bubble or contacting as many people as you like. It's just, you go by what you feel.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's the biggest thing I learned from the first one.
Yeah.
The first lockdown, I quite liked it, because so I've got a group of friends back in Bristol who, we've all gone off to various cities now, because university is moving to, some of my friends moved to London, some moved down to Plymouth, and lockdown meant that we all had we all had time, and we all had like Zoom became like the world's oyster, and like yeah, and it just meant that we could all hang out like together when even though we couldn't hang out together. And yeah, I think lockdown, if you start focusing on the positives of lockdown, it does. There are a lot more than people are talking about.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Definitely. And I think, yeah, enjoy those positive moments and make the most of them. And also, one thing I've had to constantly remind myself, especially for my own mental health, is that there probably are going to be some days when you don't feel as amazing. But I was always told when I went through, openly speaking, when I went through therapy, that you have to have some lower days in order to make those good days feel really, really good. Like, if you don't have them, like, it just meh. It just does. You need those days to make the good ones feel amazing, and that's okay. And it's not a bad thing if you have a bad day, and you can keep to yourself if that's what you feel like you need, or you can ask for support if that's what you feel like you need, because I'm sure there's plenty of other people that feel the same.
Yeah, it's that whole thing of you never appreciate the sunshine if you don't have rainy days.
Yeah, like, exactly.
So yeah, you need a bit of variety, but try and like don't dwell in the bad days.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I guarantee if you look at the ratio, it's probably more good days than bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, when you look at
it's hard to remind yourself of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as well, there's a like obviously more and more you hear about it now that mental health amongst young people is at an all-time high, and there's a lot of things that I think implement that, and I think that a big thing is social media, like hugely. And I was reading something the other day, and it was basically talking about how we go onto social media, we follow on Instagram, for example, we follow the most famous people, we follow the millionaires, the billionaires, the ones that have the cool cars, the ones that have extravagant lives, they have a personal trainer, they've got amazing physiques, and the more and more you Neil, the more and more you feed into that, the more and more you search that on Instagram, the more it just keeps popping up.
Yeah.
And I think that there is a massive stimulus at the moment that you have to earn a certain amount of money, have a certain lifestyle, and have a certain physical attributes, i.e. the way you look, in order to be successful and happy.
Yeah.
And like obviously more and more we're seeing that actually turn on the flip side now with having body positive models and everything like that, and just people being more aware that social media is not the best way of looking at life. It's a very fabricated way of looking at life. And
it's like a snapshot of all the positives of someone's life and the highlights, but you don't see those lowlights and the things that get them there.
No one's going on Instagram and posting about their really shit day.
Like, minus me.
I mean, but that's good that you are, because people go like...
I think it's important people see that. Yeah. Like, there's days that are crap and, like, you should share that. I think, like, social media is not for everyone, and that's okay. And, like, for me, I'm very active on social media, and sometimes people say, like, oh, why are you so active? Like, it's the downfall of our generation, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be.
No.
But I think it's up to you to choose whether you want to be on it or whether you don't want to be on it. It depends how you perceive information and who you follow. Like, I follow a lot of body positivity, like anxiety, mindfulness, all of these pages, so that my feed is flooded with this just breadth of positivity that I can see every day. And that's important. But if that's not for you, that's not for you, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, definitely. Like Laura just said, it is how you consume media, and obviously it is hard to get away from that sometimes, especially through lockdown. Like, I won't lie, I found myself overusing social media in lockdown to fill the gap that I had in my time more than anything. Like, for me, especially in first lockdown, there was only so much that I could do working out and like exercise before I go, well, what the hell, I'm just doing that. It becomes like your life, and then you need to appreciate just taking the time to sit back and go, actually I'm just going to watch a film or do something like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
But
these apps are designed to be addictive.
addictive as hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. And it's so easy, isn't it, just to pick up your phone and sit there scrolling rather than be like, right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get up and I'm gonna go for a walk, or I'm gonna like. I've started cleaning. That's my new go-to. Is
Oh
like
my
cleaning.
god.
excessively.
Cleaning. That's what happened to me in first lockdown. I cleaned every day, especially when I came back to Bournemouth. I was like, no, I'm just gonna clean the
Yeah.
house. I literally became a housewife. Like, I literally was just like cleaning every day.
Neil's like, no, not me.
We did other things as well, didn't we, Laura? We went for bike rides. We went
Yeah.
multiple times.
I missed that. I don't have that here.
Yeah.
I don't have a bike here, and there's no sea.
No. To be fair, the sea is being beneficial for me and Neil because we are just swimming and taking full advantage of
Hugely.
the sights.
I am very jealous. I'm very jealous.
The difference between my Bristol lockdown and my Bournemouth lockdown is just the amount of exercise just at my like feet.
Disposal.
Yeah.
Like the sea is right there. You can go
The
from
sea's
like
amazing.
you walk along the seafront from Boscombe Pier to Bournemouth Pier, and that's a mile, and you've done that.
Yeah.
And it feels like nothing. Whereas in Bristol, Bristol's just built on hills, so everything is like
Yeah.
you walk down a hill, then you got to walk up a
You gotta
bigger
go
hill,
up.
and it just sucks to exercise in when you can't go to the gym and you can't like
Yeah.
play sport and stuff like that.
I'm still kind of getting
Yeah.
my head around this lockdown because obviously when I came back in the first lockdown, I had the ability to go out for a run, a cycle, a swim, and go like do an exercise all outside without having to worry about what time of day it is, the weather
Yes.
conditions. It
Yeah.
was
Yes.
just all there. Now I'm like, what the hell? Like, I can't go for a bike ride at 5 o'clock in the afternoon because it's pretty much pitch black now.
It's super dark. Yeah, it's difficult, and I think a lot of people suffer with seasonal affective disorder anyway, which is why this lockdown is made so much harder. But it is a genuine thing, and it is difficult. There's less hours of daylight in the day. If you're working a usual 9 to 5 and you want to find the space to exercise, it is going to be dark. So it's a tough one. And there's not really a solid answer. You just have to, maybe it's that you find time to work out at home or go for a walk on a lunch break, or maybe
Yeah.
if you're feeling super energetic, get up early before work. But yeah, it's just finding things that
Not me.
make you feel good. Doesn't
Yeah.
have to be exercise. It could be listening to a podcast on a drive
Listening
to
to
work.
this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
I think that's probably my main advice to people in lockdown, especially students. I think,
Yeah.
and like people our age, younger people who don't necessarily have that 9 to 5 job, like get up, like just
Yeah.
every day, just try and pull yourself out of bed, make your bed, and like make the most of the day because the days are shorter, and that
Yeah, they
sucks.
are.
I hate it. I hate daylight savings more than anyone I know.
I
But
really do, yeah.
I scream every year when it happens because I'm just like, why? It happens twice. Let's not do it at all, and we just save us all a bunch of time. But don't worry about it. But
No, I get you.
I just
get you.
I hate it with a passion.
Yeah.
But yeah, just if you get up just like an hour earlier, that's an hour extra of the day, and like, yeah, I just think don't wake up in darkness. Don't wake up when it's like 3 o'clock. Well, I've had days when I sleep in.
Yeah.
But try your best not to.
Yeah.
I think is my
Yeah.
my like self-care thing that I'm doing this lockdown.
That's 100%
Yeah,
true.
definitely. I think that's really positive because it's hard for the students. Like, I mean, not that we can particularly go out like much. You can't go out. Well, you can't even have house parties, can you? Because it's
Nope.
like the rules of. Oh, that's really poo. But yeah, it is tough for students. Routine is not something you necessarily have as a student, but
No.
it's something we need right now when we're in this situation.
Routine is definitely a good thing to have. Like, it really is. Like, and touching back on to like making your bed, like I've had multiple people across my life, including my dad and like my mates, and it's so true. Like, they always say like having a tidy bed, having a tidy room, making your bed is basically helping you obtain a healthy mind, a healthy brain. It gives you the ability that you are getting on with your day, even if you don't do anything through the day, at least you can say you've made your bed,
Yeah.
which is one goal you've achieved.
Exactly, it's the small wins, like
Small wins.
Count them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it has been hard. Lockdown is a tough time for everyone, and like Laura said, it doesn't have to be a case of exercise be your outlet. You could find multiple outlets. You could binge watch entire series or movies or anything. So much media content, and you're doing something at the end of the day. And if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. Just if you ever do feel low, you can reach out, you can talk to someone, you can go for exercise, you can get some fresh air. There are different outlets to make this easier.
Yeah, and exercise is a big one. Like, there is a lot of scientific proof that exercise reduces the symptoms of anxiety, of depression. You have decreased neural inhibition. Like, there's a lot of positives that come from it. And as I said before, it can be as simple as going for a walk. Like, it doesn't have to be some extravagant workout. Taking yourself out for a walk is a really good way. And also, do you guys know Wim Hof, the the Iceman?
Oh, the guy on Goop. He was in the Goop show, the kind of Gwyneth Paltrow Goop show. The guy who just goes and sits down and is a crazy Icelandic man.
Yeah. He recommended that, if you guys don't know him, it's WIMHOF, Wim. I think it's pronounced Wim Hof. But and he was saying, like, start your day. You're gonna be like, what the hell, Laura? Like, no. You start your day, have an ice cold shower.
Oh,
right?
I do.
Because you do. So does my brother. Right? Hear me out. It's meant to give you as much of a wake up call as like 2 glasses of coffee. Like, the caffeine that you get from 2 glasses of coffee, that effect you will feel from an ice cold shower. Now, I can't personally say that I do this, but I have tried it, and it does wake you up like crazy. I like a hot shower, but if you want to try it, it might be something to try. And also have a pint of water before you do anything.
I do that now as well.
I will
just
try it.
Some top tips to make you feel better in your mornings: ice cold shower and a pint of water.
A pint of water really helps.
In the first lockdown, I did like a week where every day I would have a ice bath and just like dunked myself in the ice bath. Like, but I gradually started doing it later and later, and then I was like not sleeping until like 4 a.m. and like
Jesus Christ.
So in the morning would have been a good a good substitute, but instead I just stopped doing it altogether.
I don't blame you. I'm personally like, I can advise, but I it's not my favourite. I'd rather have a hot shower and a coffee, to be honest.
An ice cold shower does, like, it helps me a lot. It makes me ready for the day.
That's good.
It does. More so because I'm freezing cold, and I don't want to get back into bed. I'm just like, I just need to stay up now and stay active.
Well, I guess it's the equivalent to like when we get in the sea. Like, the sea's quite cold, so like it
we
gives
do
that
it
same
multiple
sort of effect.
Are you thingy boarding? Are you surfboarding at the minute?
Not at the moment.
No.
Why did I just say surfboarding?
Surfboarding.
What is that?
Surfing.
Surfboarding. I mean, I guess
what
it's still a thing.
No, we do it more of a, like, obviously I was like, well, I enjoy, obviously, as we've touched upon so many fucking times in this podcast, I enjoy exercise. So obviously I wanted to do weights, but I also wanted to try and do cardio. And cycling is okay, but it, like I said, it gets dark, it's annoying, and plus someone's trashed my bike at the moment, so I can't cycle. So we swim. We just do a couple of lengths just to keep ourselves busy. It's cold as well, so it keeps us a bit more energized. But more and more there are people down in Boscombe that from our course that live near us, and I've been saying I want to start surfing quite badly, and I'm thinking there's potential that I'm getting a surfboard soon, just to keep myself busy. It's a nice hobby.
Very nice.
And there's a high chance that I will borrow that surfboard.
But
borrow.
Yeah, probably use it a lot more than he thinks.
No, that sounds good. I wish I wasn't scared of fish.
Yeah, yeah, you're terrified of fish.
I'm really scared of the sea, guys, not gonna lie. I did get in it in summer when it was a little bit clearer, and then I did see some fish and I immediately got out. I just,
To be fair, it's very clear at the moment.
Is it?
It's really clear.
Really?
It was really clear the other day. But it's no, yeah. Like going back to like we were saying, it's a nice thing for us, especially me. Like I'm more and more I'm more heavily reliant on, well, not reliant, enjoying exercise as a way to help my anxiety and
Yeah.
combat a lot of the problems I have. Like I I am someone who is very heavily I self doubt myself a lot, and my anxiety
Yeah.
goes through the roof when I doubt myself. So I had horrendous body confidence when I was younger, and I still do now. Some days I think I look at myself and I go, I hate the way I look. But the exercise, the working out and swimming and doing cardio and just exercise overall helped me, well, combat that essentially. I kind of got gradually more and more confident with my body, confident with how I was and who I was becoming. So that's why I do it, and it like that is a clear example to me of how it can help someone's mental health. Um, and that's the reason I keep going back to it, and I will continue to do it for the rest of my life now, just because it does help my anxiety, and it helps me look at myself and be able to go, no, do you know what, you are capable of doing this.
And that's really good.
Yeah.
You should appreciate your body for that. Like, it's amazing the things we can do with it, and we don't give ourselves enough love and appreciation for how well our body functions and keeps us healthy and alive and doing all these incredible things. Like, I mean, we've all just, Neil, you're in the midst of it right now, got through a really tough degree in the middle of a pandemic, and that's a lot of stress on your brain and your body, and we should be really grateful of that. And so it's exercising for the right reasons, because it is difficult if you do have low self-esteem and you turn to exercise to potentially try and change the way you look rather than changing your mindset. Like, I know I started out like that initially.
No, so did I though. So did I.
And it is tough, and you've got to try and get to the place where you do it to make yourself feel good, not to change the way you necessarily look.
Yeah. I mean, Neil was there when that happened. Like, me and Neil lived together, and I
remember.
Yeah. I became.
Hey Jordan, did we live together?
Yeah, we did. Hey, we lived together.
Sliding down your stairs.
But like during that time, although we have all these stories and we've mentioned about them and we spoke about enjoying stuff, it was probably it was a very difficult time for me. I became so obsessed with the gym, not for the right reasons, more so for the fact of I wanted to change who I was. I wanted to be different. And not seeing the benefits it was causing my mental health, and so much so that it actually became so obsessive, I just became boring. I became so depressed and miserable about everything that I just stopped contacting people. I didn't really do much with my mates.
I remember.
And that made me feel worse, and I lost a lot of connections and people and relationships with people because of it, and it was a very tough time. But then on the flip side, you kind of need to go through the shit in order to see the shit, as it were. And I'm able to say now that I was obsessed for the wrong reasons, and it was a bad thing of me. But also I was very scared to put on the weight. If it were to bulk up, I was very terrified of the idea of getting big. But a lot of the time you need that in order to get stronger, and that's what I'm more focused on now, is being stronger, which helps mentally being stronger as well and disciplining yourself. So that's always a good thing to have.
Yeah, if that's one thing I've learned is, without making this about fitness at all,
we've done that a lot, but it is true.
Is the power that weightlifting, when I'm weightlifting in the gym, and it's more common now, obviously, but it's still in when you're in a smaller gym in your local area, it tends to be still that there's generally men dominating the weight section of a gym, and it feels incredibly empowering when I'm in the weights section lifting like as heavy as some of the men I see, and although it's not about like how much you lift or whatever, the like confidence that I feel when I'm lifting is amazing, and I walk away and all these endorphins are flowing and serotonin's flowing in my brain, and I feel so much better than when I entered. And if that's one thing I could say to women especially who may be hesitant to weight lift, is give it a go, because it feels amazing.
I think it's really cool because like obviously you two I guess are quite similar in the way that like the gym and fitness and stuff has really helped you, whereas like my fitness is probably the worst it's been ever, and that's.
But that's okay.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm absolutely fine. But yeah, I'm in a really good place because the way I found to cope with like the stuff I was going through and still am and the process I'm in is like I just found creative outlet to be my way.
You've thrown yourself into the art.
Yeah. The way I used to keep fit was through dance and through like physical theatre and was always creative, and I never figured out why I didn't really click with the gym so much. And I think it's because I'd rather be putting all of that stuff towards something creative.
Yeah.
Which I started in lockdown just writing. I've been writing all year pretty much. I've been like making films, doing like various little stuff, and that's my boost. That's where I come out feeling.
And that's 100% just as credible.
Yeah, and I think it's
amazing.
very personal. I think you've got to find that thing that does it for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, try the gym. If it works, great. If it doesn't, there are other things.
There's always multitudes of options. But you're right, like I always remember you in the first year when you were in our house in the parts of the Musical Theatre Society at uni. And you were brilliant, like it was so good. Neil was the lead and it was amazing, and it's nice seeing like your friends thrive like that. But yeah, like you started like writing and stuff, and you guys are doing this podcast, and I know like Kat, a friend Kat on our course, she's doing all these little monologues on social media at the minute. Luke's just released a song on YouTube. Like the creativity that's getting people through this lockdown as well, especially from like our course, obviously being the creative performing arts course, is amazing, and it's so nice to see, and everybody's really coming into their own through it, which is lovely.
Yeah. And I think it's so important that people do, because like especially with us, the theatres have shut. We need something to do. We need something to focus on.
And that's why we did this. We took this as, obviously it would be great if this takes off, whatever. But we did it more as a creative outlet. We all have...
Yeah.
Me and Neil, we wanted to make a YouTube channel just for the sake of making a YouTube channel. And obviously with lockdown coming around the corner, we were like, well, it's a good time to talk to people and discuss different topics, which is something that I don't do enough. And being on this podcast and talking about different things has made it such an impact in my life. Do you know what I mean?
It's also just making memories. Like I can come back in like years and listen to this and be like, oh, remember when I used to live with Jordan and like we were close to Laura and we all chatted all the time.
Same. I'll be like, oh, do you remember that time I got the hairbrush stuck in my hair?
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be something that I'll laugh about.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, exactly. It's lovely. It's and I'm very flattered that you guys were like, come on the podcast. I was like, yeah.
No, it's okay. It's absolutely no. It's nice to get other people talking about it, and also like we not out of choice, more out of just the fact who we've spoken to and been in contact with. It has been a very much we've been talking to a lot of males, and we were like it. This is a podcast for everyone, no matter your background, ethnicity, whatever. Like this is somewhere we want to discuss and talk about things openly with all of our friends. And that's why we wanted to kind of get you on, and also obviously you being someone that's...
Don't put that in.
What did you do?
Did a little pose. I'm definitely putting it in.
Putting the pose in.
Putting the zoomed in.
But yeah, so like it's beneficial for us, and obviously Laura's, you've touched on mental health a lot of times, and you like to talk about it. We've all said that we have had our own issues in the past and we're dealing with them in our own ways, and it's a nice thing to discuss. Obviously we've all talked about our personal issues a bit now, touched upon, and that isn't a case of us saying, oh, look at my issues. This is more saying like we understand where people come from and everything that happens.
Yeah.
And for people to know that they're not the only ones out there, and there are multiple ways of dealing and coping with it.
Yeah. Because as much as we have progressed, and generally, you know, like compared to even just like 3 years ago, you see so much more on especially social media of people opening up about their issues, and that's amazing. But there is definitely still a stigma, especially when talking about it like this, face to face, like in person. It's easier to post a photo and kind of talk behind it, but actually opening up and having a conversation with someone in person is still very hard, I think, for a lot of people. So it's really important that things like this are done, and it is nothing to be ashamed of at all, and it's good to speak about it.
And and like Neil said as well, we've all been through our own coping methods as well, and there is always light at the end of the tunnel. There is. I'm a big believer. Sentimental.
That's
so corny.
No, it's true though. I'm a big believer in more now than ever. Especially with what happened in 2020, there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and things will always get better.
Definitely.
And that's the way you kind of have to keep looking, no matter how dark it can get.
Yeah, I don't think this will be the last
lag
time we ever have Laura on, because I think that's fine. We'll figure it out.
Carry on. No, big up my ego. Carry on.
Yeah, I don't think this will be the last time we have Laura on, because like this is an ongoing discussion, and this will become like an update, because who knows where we'll be like weeks from now, months from now.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Hopefully
important
I'll
that
be
we
in
keep talking about
Ibiza.
it. Join us next time when Laura's in Ibiza.
Party.
I was meant to be in Ibiza. I was meant to be in Ibiza and Prague.
I'd love to do a podcast where it's us, me and Jordan sat in our rooms and Laura's on a beach with like
just chilling out in
margaritas,
Ibiza.
sunglasses, rubber duck around the waist. That'd be great.
I'll be on a nudist beach. Oh, did I tell you guys the time? Why am I doing to stop?
Why are you like this?
I don't know. Did I tell you guys the time when I got... The reason I'm scared of the sea is because I got stung by a jellyfish when I was in, what's it called, Marbella. And I was having my cocktails, and I got one of them really cute, I was ready for my photo, like them inflatable flamingos, and I was like bobbing out, like, woo, look at me, drinking hand on my flamingo. I was like, this is so nice, look, I'm in Marbella. And and I looked down, no joke, I was surrounded, like there was a ring of jellyfish around me. I was like, oh my god, drink's gone. I'm screaming at my cousin who I was playing catch with, like, Joe, get me out of the sea now, there's jellyfish. And I just like dived head first to swim back to shore, and I got stung all down my leg. And that's why I'm scared of the sea.
That right there is why Laura is scared of the sea.
And that right there is why we're friends with Laura, for moments like that, where she just loses it and goes off on one.
Like when I jumped in the bin because the rubbish was there.
I'm going to cry.
There was just so much rubbish. I was like, Hattie, I'm just going to have to get in the bin. And so I was like jumping on our bin, like, go in.
Oh my god.
This is going to be fun to edit.
Oh, mate.
No, yeah, but
So
why have I done this? Oh, I'm out of water. How am I supposed to cook?
but we'll wrap it up here. Obviously,
I think that's a good idea.
we've kind of touched on a few different methods, a few different things to talk about mental health, and especially through lockdown. We've all kind of discussed our own issues and personal experiences with it, and our personal methods. Like I said, yeah, we're in lockdown too. It's going to be over. The second lockdown. It's going to be a tough one.
I meant the 2nd of December.
Oh yeah, it's going. I was wondering why you were like I was like, lockdown 2, and you went, second. And I was like, yeah, we're in second lockdown.
I thought you were saying we're
This-
in lockdown 2.
No, we're in
This was
lockdown
going so well.
2.
I'm with you. I just asked the jellyfish just to pick me up.
But, fingers
I'm
crossed,
flustered.
we come out of lockdown on the 2nd of December. I know for students, they are looking at the idea of having a few days for students to travel back home specifically, so they can all get home for Christmas, which will be a nice opportunity.
I'll be home
and I'm
for Christmas.
I just love the fact she's singing into the mic, even though the mic's not connected to the phone.
It's not at all.
It's got nothing to do with the audio.
For Christmas.
Exactly.
Where the light bleeds.
Oh my
I don't
god.
actually know the words.
It's going. Oh my, we're losing it.
Yeah. Right.
I'm sorry, it's me.
But like Laura said, we will be home for Christmas. No, honestly, I recommend students, if you are listening, people that are at university, go home for Christmas. Take the time to go and spend time with your family, especially now more than ever. This is going to be a tough Christmas, I think, for everyone, and taking the time to go and see family will be a really nice thing, especially.
And
for
don't buy from Jeff Bezos. Buy from small businesses.
Buy from small businesses. If you ever, like we've said in all of our podcasts, if you ever need someone to talk to, discuss, you want to drop us a message, you're more than welcome to. We always have our Instagrams linked into the description, so you can go and drop us a message. We also probably will have in this description as well a few different places where you can go and get support if you are dealing with these.
Mind, Samaritans, 24/7.
Yeah, these
good ones.
These are all places we'll link in the description, so you guys can check them out if you ever need any support. And we will make sure to just, if you ever need to talk, just drop us a message and talk to others as well. And thank you so much, Laura, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything you want to promote?
Me.
Yeah. What's your Instagram, Laura?
My Instagram's at Laura McKay. So I'm about to become a fully qualified fitness trainer. So if you need personal training, please come to me. My logo, I've got a logo. I've just had a logo made. I'm very excited. Everything's in the process of being built for my brand at the minute. So yes, please come to me for help.
Yes, thank you very much for listening, guys, and stay safe. Make the most of lockdown. Enjoy yourself. And Exit Pursuit by a Bear. Thank you very much, guys, for listening.
That's my
Thank
line.
you.
Hey, well, I took your line this
You
time.
took my line.
I'll be home for Christmas.
Here we go again.
If only in my dream.
I hope that sounds good on like the actual audio.
I hope it doesn't.